For folks that don't want to sit on the floor, grab a chair. If your back's too tight today, make sure you take care of your needs. Let me repeat that. Take care of your needs. This isn't about anything else other than feeding the soul right now. I'm going to shake these up. So yoga is a practice for everyone. Absolutely everyone. If all someone can do is breathe, they can do the breath work. If they can only lift their right little pinky, they lift that right little pinky. It's about aligning with source, aligning the self and the soul with source, and connecting with this planet and this earth and this time and this space. And whatever that means to you, live it, breathe it, do what you need to do. Chakana, time to cross the threshold. All right, so these are from the Earth Warrior meditation cards. I felt a little earthy today. So time to cross the threshold. Okay. We're going to work a little warrior posture today. We're really going to sink into it. We're going to claim our space and really unite with that sense of self, so that as we expand in these times of expansion, that we're expanding from heart. We're not expanding from old hurt feelings. We're not expanding from guilt. We're not expanding from shame. We want those things to funnel through heart space, so that when we greet the world in every moment, we're coming through a very truthful, loving space. And that's going to hold us in with source. And that's going to keep guilt and shame and those things at bay. Okay? We don't want to exacerbate those things. We want to snuggle them up for the experiences that they were, love on them, and then dissipate it all through love. So a time to cross the threshold. A threshold appears, bringing an ending so complete that it is no longer possible to return to what has been. You guys saw me shuffle these cards, right? I didn't, this is what popped up. The light of the stars is your faithful guide into this new world. As you trust in your divine connection, deconstructed forms shall reshape themselves into relevant, helpful, and beautiful new ways of living, thriving and expressing your true self. Trust in your strangest ideas and that which is different, inspired, or even unconventional. This crossing is healing and furthers the activation of your divine potential. So settle in around that. Your divine potential. Sometimes as I look out with my human eyes and I see all of my human things made in factories, see my friends, see our beautiful mural, see my mat. These are things, I see them. Yes, we're things unto each other, but that's another body. I don't look and see the soul. I don't look and see, she's connected to source too. I can go, oh, I'm connected to source. I don't go, oh, look, because I don't see this lightning rod that goes up. I just see the body. Oh, she's got a headband on today. Look at her lovely hair, you know. Oh, I like those yoga pants, you know, so on and so forth. I see with my eyes. So bring in, what is my divine self? What does the yoga do? Yoga means union. Bring that in. Find a comfortable space. Breathe into those loving hearts. Breathe until you know that you are connected. And if it's a struggle today to connect, Welcome. I stayed up the other night because sleep was impossible. And I meditated until the tears were streaming down my face because things are so unsettled. Welcome. And we are divine. We are crossing a threshold. Breathe into your beautiful self. Loosen the jaw. Let hands settle where they will. And just turn your head to the right. Open your eyes and let your eyes settle on something. Let go of the meaning of what it is that you've settled upon. And see if you can let your eyes go out of focus. Just holding there. On the next breath, things come center. And then when you're ready, turn off to the left. Find something off on the left side to focus on. Let go of the object. Let the eyes go out of focus. And as you come back through center, let the eyes blink closed if that would be comfortable. And notice what the threshold is. It's going to be different for each one of us. It's that space in a doorway where you're stepping through, you're stepping over. And it's a choice. Last big breath. Envision yourself one foot or the other foot first. Step over and through that threshold, right through that door frame, into what is possible, what is new, what is transforming in front of you. What is becoming true, and make sure that heart is there. So that it is the truth. Last breath. Blow it all out. Keep that vision of that threshold nice and strong. Remove your cushion, roll forward, hands and knees. Get there in the best way that you can. Pad the wrists, pad the knees, and any way that's possible, shake the hips from side to side. So I was listening to something this morning, and teachers used to say that kind of thing, and I'd be like, when did you have time to listen to that before you came to class? But I really was listening to something this morning, and it was talking about pulling something out of the psyche, pulling it out of the body, out of your space, while it's still a seed, while it's a sprout. Because she said, once something grows roots, we all know what that means if you're gardeners. Once something has roots and branches, it is far harder to remove. Now let the body sag to the left. Hold into that left hip. Let those right fingertips itch out to the side, like the floor's got a little itchy spot, and you're just going to reach over and you're going to, because you don't lean into an itch. Somebody might turn around and knock, hey, I ask you to scratch that spot, not beat me. So it's just a little slight touch. And then slide the hand back in, shift the hips to the other side. Thank you. But if something has grown roots in you, and you're really just blown up right now, welcome. Welcome. Left hand slides out. And we just gather a little soil out there, just play in the sand like when you were little and you used to sit in the edge of the sand or in the dirt and you just used to play with it mindlessly in your fingertips. Shift back through center. Come down onto the right forearm. Let the left hand drift a little wide. Right knee comes a little towards center line. And then the left leg comes up and back. Now, toes preferably roll down toward the floor and the belly button rolls in. So since you're that way, I'm going to go this way. Beautiful. Hold here with the upper body. Turn those left toes out consciously. And then either bring in that fire hydrant or that side kick. Ori has an opportunity right here to get me back for anything I've ever done. That's right. Opportunity doesn't come often. Oh, let it start to shake. So the threshold, sometimes the threshold can be high and you got to hurdle it. Sometimes you really got to hold in that space and then you have to consciously go, okay, I'm going for it. And then let that leg walk back all the way across to the other side. Settle that foot into the floor. Turn and look over your right shoulder at your left toes. It's kind of like when the water, you're just dying to go for a swim, and it's barely the beginning of summer. Barely. It's like still spring. And you know when you jump in, it's going to be ice, ice cold. But you're just dying to go anyways. Sometimes the threshold's like that. It's beckoning. It's calling. Lift that leg up behind one more time. Breathe it in. And then let it come down. Both hands come down. And then barrel rolls with the chest. Go up and over. Any movements that you need to make. Bend those elbows. Give it an extra shimmy. As if somebody put the cosmic handle on your forehead and your spine is just around in circles. Give it a pause. Go in the opposite direction. Excellent. Pause it up. Here we go. Opposite side. Left forearm comes out. Right hand comes out a little wider. Left knee plants a little more center line, and that right foot comes out behind. Gorgeous. Toes down toward the earth at first. So we're pulling the body off balance on purpose. We got to create that symmetry by building strength side to side. Breathing. Oh yeah, y'all know what's coming. Turn those toes out. Either side kick out to the side or bend the knee. But what you're going to notice is if you try to get away from it, you're going to sag right over on that outside and you'll fall over. You've got this extra kickstand hand out here to help you hold the weight of the leg. And then we hold. And we love, and we find out what energy is being held, whatever's holding you back. What is holding us back? Breathe it in, breathe it out, swing it out and across to the other side. Drop that foot down, look over the shoulder if that would be comfortable. So what has taken root? What has grown a trunk and branches that is between us and stepping across the threshold? Big breath. Bring that leg back in. Press back a little, crawl the hands forward. Keep the hips up off the heels. Little puppy posture. Breathe it. Then up onto hands and knees. Right foot steps up by the left hand. That left knee sneaks back some if you need to roll the side of that mat and put the knee on some extra padding. Excellent. First stage of warrior. Yes. Okay. So build up from the ground up. If I am preparing to step into the next phase of my life, one of the things I need to do is put a bunch of stuff down. Because sometimes the old stuff doesn't go with us. Most of the time, things get left behind. But you guys are realizing that. A lot of us are throwing out a lot of stuff. Hands come together at heart, rotate to the right, hold in midair, or touch the elbow, or hook the outside of the leg. Give it a good twist. If you want to curl those back toes under and lift, then you could lift that leg. Find that big breath. If the knee is up, you can leave it up. If not, you could put it back down. We're going to lift back through center. The hands are going to come down. That knee is going to move even further back, or the pelvis is going to drop more. The goal here would be to get those forearms to the ground. So a little extended lizard posture. You can curl those toes and keep that knee up off the ground if you want, but really down into that hip. So to move across the threshold, to jump into the rest of our lives, we've got to have flexible hips. We've got to be able to tuck and move, because things might not operate or look what we think they should look like or operate like. If you're still up on your hands, stay there. No judgment on that. Toe out, heel out a little more. Sweep that left elbow in, right hand rises. If this is all too much, come back up, lift, rise. If you need to lift even more, bring it here. Beautiful. Nice and stable. Inhale. Exhale. Now, two ways to get out of here. One way, I can take my right hand, put it down next to my right foot. I can lift this right leg, lean it back until my pelvis drops down and in, or I can do the, oh, dear God, shift, pull, and drop. Yes. So pull in Sphinx posture. Ankles close together, big toes touching, elbows up under the shoulders, palms spread nice and wide, chin pulled into the hollow of the throat. You'll see me tip my head up because I'm looking to make sure we're still in the camera frame. Breathe. Now with the tops of the feet on the floor, if the tops of the feet don't go there because foot flexibility has become an issue, just make sure that you're not cramming the knee joints into the floor. If you want to press the tops of the feet, pull the belly button away from the floor, lift the thighs and just hold there in a plank. Do so. If you want to just attempt to pull the belly button away from the floor, do that. Nice and strong. Heart space lifting away from the floor. Let the energy filter through that heart. Move forth, honoring thyself. Connected with source. And then roll the body down. Stack the hands in the best way. And breathe. On the next breath in, hands come up under shoulders. Push up and back. Puppy posture again. Hips stay high. Armpits nice and stretched. Really open through the back so that that heart sphere really is a sphere. Roll up, hands and knees, left foot steps forward. Plant that back knee, hip drops, arms sweep up. Low warrior posture. Sit into it. There's strength in this. There's length in the groin space, length in the hip flexor. There's flexibility and strength here. Who am I in this posture? If I am a person that is about to step into my own future, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Hands come together. Give yourself a twist. If you want to lift that back knee, then you lift that back knee. Holding, loving, knowing we're going to transform. Knee stays up or knee stays down. We unwind. Hands come down. Pad that knee if you need to. Forearms come down. Find that lizard. Now, if you've got a blanket or a block or something along those lines, you could bring those forearms. I should have said this on the other side, but you can bring those forearms down onto a bolster to give yourself some space and give your wrists a break. Couch cushions. Couch cushions are beautiful things. If you want to lift that back knee, but toe heel out just a little. Give yourself a little more length. Right arm swings in. Left arm sweeps up. Make this yours. Modify, 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 because it's not a competition. Choices, choices, down to the pelvis. Hands land. That leg either sweeps out and back, or you do the ugada, 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 oh, down into Sphinx posture. Elbows under shoulders. Once you get there, crown of the head pulls away from the sacrum, and you use the pull of the forearms to lengthen that belly space while that belly button draws in just slightly. Big toes touching, tops of the feet down. Squeeze the tush around that tailbone. If you want to lift the legs off the floor, lift the belly, pressing down through the thighs to lift the belly. Make all of the adjustments. Nice long neck. And then this time, roll down slightly. Either let the hands come wide or lift in a half skydiver. And when you do, check in with back energy, okay? You know, am I using more of one side of my back than the other? Do I have one hip that's really planted into the floor? Am I pressing down with one foot or one leg?
Yeah.
The body can spiral just from the muscles being used too repetitively on one side. Hands sweep back, head turns to one side, and just release. All right. Like phoenixes, we're going to rise. Hands under shoulders. Either curl toes, come up into a plank, or press up into a table. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Downward facing dog from here, or tiptoe forward into a forward fold. Yep. We'll meet in a forward fold in, I don't know, 8 breaths or so. So if you're really going to pedal out your downward facing dog, really pedal it out. Get into those wrists and those hands. Shake that head out. Check the body, check the mind, check the soul for any messages. Have you been heading this direction all this time anyways? Or has there been the holding on? There's been a holding. There's been a gripping. There's been a no, I don't want to go there. In my best, I don't know, some weird Mickey Mouse impersonation. But Stepping forward by the hands, bend the knees, and then slowly roll the body up. We're going to rise like phoenixes with big flaming wings. Let the shoulders rise by the ears. Let the elbows rise. Let the fingertips reach up and out. If the toes need to get involved, and everything needs to rise from the floor, rise like a phoenix and maybe just fly through the threshold, just right over. We don't need to jump and shoot. Who needs to jump? Let's just fly. Breathe in, breathe out. Heels land, hands go to hips, left foot steps back long. Settle in, heel high or heel down. That's up to you depending on injuries. Shoulders roll back and together. Fingertips sweep back first, then sweep through like you're diving through a doorway, and then lift. Now the goal here, really sink. If you're close together, bend the back knee a little. Give it a sink through the pelvis so that you can really connect with the earth, so that when your spirit is lifting and rising to connect with source, that you don't float up and fly away. Anchor into the posture. Breathe in, breathe out. Stepping up and forward, feet land side by side. Feel the heart rate. Feel the breath. Let those wings slide up. Turn your flame up. Let it rise right from heart, out through hands. Tiptoes, rise. Breathe it in. And then heels land, hands to hips. Step that right leg back, nice and long or short, up to you. Step in and own it. This is where I am today. Hands slide back, heart opens first, then swoop forward, open it up. And sink into those feet so that you have an excellent platform to rise from. That belly button draws in so that that energy, that pulling energy, lifts the heart up into the arms and the hands. Expand into source. Breathe it in. Breathe it out, stepping it forward. Let the energy settle. So in times of ascension, in times of consciously moving into the next phase of our life, there's a working phase and a resting phase. And then there's a working phase and there's a resting phase. It's not all done at once. You don't just wake up one day enlightened. It takes work and then rest so that the information settles. Sweep those hands up. Here comes the work. Heels rise or they don't. Hands to hips, left foot steps back. Once you settle where you are, then let those arms reach. They slide forward. They lift. Once you've lifted and you've planted, hands come back into prayer, turn to the right, hold midair, or come down and make good connection with that knee. That's up to you. I'm going to stay up here with you guys. Really send the energy back through that back heel so that the energy can anchor you into the earth. And then imagine that earth energy rises up through that leg, through that spine, shoots out of the top of the head and connects you with source. Big breath. Body rises. Lift the hands. And then use that energy, shift forward, step, rise to the front of the mat, and then forward fold. Hands to thighs, shins, ankles. floor. If you can lift the heels and still reach the floor, do so. Breathe in and breathe out. Right foot plants, left foot slides up behind or holds here. So that leg slides up behind you. Excellent. And then your best impersonation of a phoenix. Rise. Ooh, I went down. I got to try again. Rise. Yes. Breathing it in. Whoa, I have no balance today. Breathing it out, slide it back down. Feet together, big bend in the knees. Dropping heel toward tush slightly. Inhale. Exhale, press down to rise up. Take earth energy with you. Let the body rise until the source connection really clicks in. Breathe in on it. Don't only feed from it, give into it. Hands slide down. The body holds. The doing and the resting and the doing and the resting. All right, if you haven't crossed the threshold yet, it may take weeks. You may do it right now. You may have done it 5 minutes ago. If you haven't crossed the threshold yet, bring that energy up. Let that phoenix rise. Lift. Breathe. Heels rise or not. Inhale. Exhale. Heels down. Hands to hips. Reach that right leg back. Settle. Beautiful. Make it yours. And then wings back. Wings forward. Wings lift. Yes. That heart, whoa, pull it all up. Let it stretch. Yes. And then hands to prayer, turn into it and really pull that body into union. Elbow to knee or hover midair. So body communing with source energy and earth energy. You are the connector. Think of yourself as like when a light switch comes on, those are two circuits that come together. There's that little click that happens. You are the click between there and there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind. Arms lift. Reach. Big step forward like a cheetah springing across the savannah. Fold down. Step back plank position or hands and knees. Inhale. Exhale. Left side plank. So either just roll to the left side of that foot or knee down. Leg swivels out. Hand plants, right arm rises. If that back foot wants to rise too, beautiful, but press that pelvis forward slightly toward the right side of your mat. Lift the side body away from earth, reaching for source with that right hand. Got to be strong on the other side of that threshold. Arms roll down. Hold that plank. Knees down or knees up. If you have a downward facing dog in you, press back, heels reaching toward the mat. If you've got a tabletop in you right here, shift the hips. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale, roll forward into plank, knees down or hands and toes. Making sure those elbows aren't locked forward. That's just tennis elbow waiting to happen later in life. Roll to the right. I'm going to put my knee down, swivel, and then lift my left hand. Source is up there. So I'm going to reach. I'm going to just whoosh. Release into it. Give in to what we're being called forward to do. All the learnings that we have gathered over the course of a lifetime, they're all going to be needed from this moment forth. Breathe in, breathe out, roll it down, find that plank. 5 breaths in your knees down or knees up plank. Unlock those elbows, find that sponge in the elbow joint so you can find the strength in the chest wall. Breathe in, breathe out. Knees down, hips back, child or puppy, or if you want a restorative, bring that pillow up and in and just drop over. It can come on top of the thighs. It can be on the ground. The rising and the resting. The rising and the resting. We're going to rise one more time. And this is the part where the body goes, maybe not. Maybe I'll just stay on this side of the threshold. Maybe I was fine just the way I was. That's that mat cuddling. No! Start to unfold. Pull back into that plank position. Heels extend back, crown extends forward. If you need to put the left knee down for this, put the left knee down for this. Right foot steps up on the outside of that right pinky. Heel presses back on that left side. Hands rise. Big warrior right here. Hips squared with the front edge of the mat. Ooh, I'm a little too overextended. Shoulders square with pelvis. Breathe. Now reach down through the feet into that source energy. Left hand reaches for the back of the left thigh. I'm going to reach back to open belly. Breathe in. And then I'm going to roll my back heel down and cartwheel into a triangle. So I'm gone from here to here. Roll the heel, straighten the leg, and that big opening of the front side of the body. Beautiful. Ribs over, right femur, kneecap pulling up to protect that knee joint. Big breath. Now sweep it up and back. Oh, yes. And then here we go back into that warrior. Left hand sweeps forward. That heel either stays where it was or it reaches in. Ah. Yes. Now fly those wings. Big wings. Open. Really, you need to bend that back knee. Really get in there. Now dive into your front toe. Lift that back leg up and away. Any kind of warrior 3 or assisted, or if you were here and you dove to the thigh, you could lift and rise here. Lift the leg. Give yourself 2 more breaths. Feet come together. Forward fold. Jump or step back. Plank posture. Knees down or knees up. Downward facing dog or tabletop. Left foot plants right knee toward the nose. Shift over the hands just a little, then push that right toe straight up toward the ceiling, over the pelvis. Long line. Connect with source and earth. Because maybe the threshold is up there. Maybe the threshold isn't in front of us. Maybe it's above us. Oh, right foot descends. Left knee pulls in toward the nose. Toes rise. Breathe it in. Stretch it out. And then that foot descends, roll forward into your plank, firm it up in whatever way works. And then the left foot steps up to that warrior posture, stabilize everything, wings up. Big warrior one. And if it takes 16 different moves to get there, okay. No judgment. Y'all heard, oh, I should have been able to do this. I used to be able to do, I still have those moments. But I don't use them to flog myself anymore. Here we go. Right hand reaches back. Open that belly space. There's more love in there. There's more space somewhere in here. Push the love into it. And then launch the love up through those fingers. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll that back foot. Straighten the front leg. Triangle posture we go. So if we were here, we rolled down, we opened up, and we slid in. So if I'm not in a huge triangle mood, take it easy. Big breath. Oh yeah, here we go. Yep, sweep it up and back. Bend that front knee, sweep that right hand forward. Roll that heel up or keep it down. Reach and reach and reach some more. And then dive toward that front leg, however you're going to dive. You dive in, you go up, you launch, you lift, you go the athletic route. The energy just let it build. Or you go thigh, you step, and you lift. You got this. All the ways. Inhale, exhale, feet together. Lift first. Let those wings expand. Offer up some gratitude for where you have been in life. Whatever the station it is you feel that you have occupied.
Oh, well.
And then find some gratitude for change as the body starts to morph forward, forward fold, fingers touch. One foot steps back into plank, the other foot steps back into plank. Hold for one full breath. Knees land, tops of the feet, hips. Bring it down, stack the hands, and just release.
The DC is new.
The resting, the doing and the resting.
No, he just went in. He went in like because these.
It's not about being big.
So yes, the
or having all the money, or being able to influence in certain ways.
I'm doing the yoga on the back deck, and I'm looking at my railing.
You come into congruence with heart space.
Like
heart space clicks in with soul.
And the pool's not open. So
connects to source.
All right, you have to be.
And we might do things that are just so simple.
Yeah,
and yet they make the biggest differences.
It's just a can that I had. It's bare. Oh well. I did it last year, but...
So that threshold.
Yeah.
It may not need jumping or flying or rising. It may just take the simplest step forward. And just notice the other side. Hands sweep back, chin, mouth, or forehead on the mat. Big toes together. Hands plant on either side of the hips. Head rises. Tops of the feet press down into the floor. Squeeze around that tailbone.
Okay.
And then hands rise away from the floor if they want to. Tops of the feet can lift if they want. I'm going to leave mine on the floor for this particular cycle. So I just have a half locust, just an upper body rise. Inhale. Exhale. And then roll that body down. Turn the head one direction.
No. Uh,
Allow gravity to breathe your body.
Interesting. Good foresight. Yep.
Allow energy to enter
Yeah,
in a way that will cause you to expand, to ascend, to break free. Chin, mouth, or forehead on the mat. Big toes touching, hands stay down this time. Head rises, but toes rise. Knees rise. Collarbones rise. And then if you feel your spine can handle the extra energy of the arm lift, full locust, Shalabhasana. Call some part of your past forward. Doesn't matter how far you go back. You could go back generations, or you could go back to last week. Pull it forward in this working. Pull it forward into this moment. However you judge that moment, if it needs to be released, pull it into this working space and then release with a sigh. Turn the head the opposite way. Move across the threshold even lighter.
Here he is.
Chin, mouth, or forehead on the floor. Right hand slides up overhead. Left hand comes out into T position. I'm going to press my left. My left knee is going to slide up by my belly button space. And I'm going to just open with my left hand and just let it open into space. Maybe my head will be on the top of my arm. I could always cup the back of my head with my right arm. Or I could roll my shoulders even further. Not all spines like extreme spinal twists, so make this yours. Left knee is out, left arm extended. Be mindful of any holding through the muscles, through that low back, through that sacral region. They may not be allowing energy to flow top to bottom. One more full breath. Left hand slides across the body, finds support. Right arm extends overhead. The left leg slides back. Take a breath in center. Full breath, breathing the body. Consciously. Left arm reaches up. Right arm comes out. We press, we roll, that right knee slides up, and then the right arm comes out. So I could be in full T position. I could cup the back of my head. But so Ori is more flexible through the spine than I am. Awesome. She can really open that heart space. She can get into that sphere that's in there and really expand the bubble of that anahata. I'm less flexible in the heart space, so my arm hovers in space. But then bring the attention into the low back. Am I holding subconsciously with any muscles? Is there any fear there? Not all of us are those people that just willingly jump. We got to test the waters. Breathe in. Exhale out. Now this time, bring that right hand behind the head. Slide the knee up into chest. Both knees fold into chest. Roll onto your back and give yourself a good snuggle. Oh, yeah. Snuggle that heart space. Beautiful. Compress that low back into the ground. Wobble. I mean, we've got 10 minutes left in class, and if the next 5 minutes need to be spent just rolling from side to side across that low back energy, then go for it. I mean, we've been having a lot of really interesting conversations in our house recently. And yesterday we were talking, you know, what is energy in your life that you've never dubbed as energy? You know, is looking into my ancestry and pulling that energy forward to transmute that energy so that my family line can go forward across this threshold without any hindrance. Okay, that's energy. I never thought of it that way. Is my low back holding energy for me? Thinking that I'm going to need it for some future purpose. Or maybe I started holding it 20 years ago. Do I still need that help? Arms out into T position. Let the shoulder blades settle. Let the feet settle right beyond the tailbone. And then a micro lift of the pelvis. Little teeny bridge, just enough to release that sacral energy, to give space between you and the mat, you and the floor. Space for that energy to expand away from the body and go, do I need to be here anymore? Breathe it. And then settle the tailbone again. Settle that sacral energy. If the knees want to fall to one side, let them fall to one side. If you want to go back into pulling into the chest and rocking from side to side, go back into pulling into the chest. If you want to do a shoulder stand, because you need to take that sacral energy and flip it upside down. Yes. Give yourself all the moments you need, all of them. The threshold isn't imminent unless it needs to be. Upper body relaxes, jaw relaxes, feet land, hips rise 2-3 inches. If you want to, baby bridge. Lifting just a little. Any extra energy that needs to go, invite it in, love it, and then settle it back into the floor. Knees off to the other side. Or invite your body into a wheel. Or another shoulder stand. Or even a wide leg forward fold.
Hey, sweetie. Hey,
And one more breath where you are.
what's your name?
And then start to stretch yourself out in the best way for you. Cover yourself up if you need to. Support your head if you need to. Guide your arms into the most comfortable position that they could be. And then from heart, run almost a column from your heart straight up out of the body towards source, wherever that might be for you. And once you feel that you've connected with source, allow that source energy to run down through the center of your heart space and then through a column underneath you, grounding down into earth. And once you achieve this flow of energy from out to in to below to back in, open to the divine and what might be next. And as you lay there, bring this into your consciousness. May unconditional love of the divine bless the highest expression of pure love on this planet through all systems, all beings, and all creations.
Come here.
May my destiny and the loving destiny of all earth warriors manifest through unconditional love and divine grace for the greatest good. May the lives of all in the here and now know the grace of divine love made manifest. May the deeper realms of existence provide energy filtered through the purifying veil of unconditional love, so as to serve the greatest good of all. So be it. Swaha. The doing is over. The resting is now.
Hey, sweetie. That's a good spot for you, ones. Nice. Where's your birdie? Birdie, 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 birdie.
As you continue to rest for a moment, envision that the snuggling energy of all the earth, like a blanket, settles down over your body. And this blanket has the ability to pull away any doubt, any fear, anger. And this blanket has the ability to hold you in just the perfect way, so that you can transform as if in a cocoon, away from shame, away from guilt. So that when the blanket comes off, you can rise like a phoenix, and there is no fear of the threshold. There is no fear of the future. Because your heart, that center from where all of our words escape from, will be grounded. Will be of nothing but pure energetic love. Deep breath releases the jaw. Deep breath expands the chest. That blanket lifts and slides away, pulling all of the unwanted away from it. Negativity released. Heart space fueled. And if you want to come up to seated, you're welcome to. Otherwise, stay where you are. And we'll share our last 3 breaths and sounds. And when we step off our mats, that mat is a threshold. When you go to step off that mat, make that choice. It's a choice. Belly breath, rib breath, collarbone breath. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the ribs. Breathe into the collarbones. Rise, beautiful phoenixes. The threshold awaits. Be light, be free, be kind to yourselves.